and today's video is going to be my opinion on dwarf hamsters. So this is sort of going to be the end slate to the hamster side of my channel, which is really sad, but as you know I will be getting a very exciting new pet, which is a guinea pig, and I'll leave the link to the video below which explains it in a bit more detail. So as you all know, I am stopping the hamster side, but I thought I'd give you sort of an overview of what I've thought about the hamsters and whether I think they're good pets and my opinion overall, so I hope you enjoy. I'd just like to say as a little disclaimer, if you'd like someone with more experience on all the hamsters, all the species and all of that, I recommend you go to Erinshamsters and Hammy, because they know way more on the different species and which one's the best one to have as pets and all of that. But I'll just be telling you what I have found about the dwarf hamsters and not which pet you should be getting. But if you'd like to know more about that, head over to their channels because they explain all the different species in so much more detail. So overall, I found that dwarf hamsters are amazing pets. They're fantastic. I've loved owning them. I haven't stopped owning them because I haven't liked them. I've just stopped because I found another pet which needs my help. So it's got nothing to do with anything that's wrong with them, or I haven't liked them anymore. And my next hamster was either going to be a Syrian or a pair of winter whites. So it was still going to be a dwarf hamster, most likely. I was more lenient to get another dwarf than a Syrian. I've just loved the dwarfs. I found them so entertaining and so much fun. Never mind, they're so cute and just adorable, and their personalities have been amazing. So I've really loved them, and I really would recommend them as pets. The dwarf hamster, of course, does have a bit more of a difficult diet, especially when it comes to diabetes prone ones, because they need a reduced fat and sugar content diet so that they won't get diabetes. This isn't anything really hard, it just takes a bit more caution, so I haven't minded at all. I found that that's really easy to look after, but if you're one of those people that isn't really that bothered and interested in looking at the diet closely and being very cautious with the sort of treats you feed and stuff, then a little dwarfie wouldn't be the right pet for you. But for me, I found that this was okay. That was the only sort of bug on the problem. So personality wise, dwarfs are amazing. They're usually very bubbly, very hyper. I've loved that. I love hyper hamsters, especially as my house is perfect for them because I can let them free range all over my bedroom. And especially as having hamsters such as dwarf hamsters, especially my hybrids, who've been so energetic, it's been great to be able to just let them go loose around my bedroom and watch them have so much fun. And I just love that, and I do love energetic hamsters. I'm not one to want to really cuddle and sit down because I have my cats for that. They're very affectionate and very cuddly, so I wanted a pet that's a bit more entertaining and a bit more fun and interesting. But if you're more interested in the snuggly side, I know not all Syrians are like that, but maybe they would be better suited. But overall, my opinion is that I've absolutely loved having such energetic hamsters, and they've been great. I found that my dwarfs have taught me a lot in sense of being cautious, careful, being respectful, and also just learning about them, watching and observing, because they've just been brilliant for that, as they've been so unique and interesting, and it's hard to explain, but they have been amazing throughout all of it. Misty, Mickey, Tess, my old hamster, and obviously I've looked after Lily as well, so all four of them have been amazing and I've loved having them, and none of them have put me off dwarf hamsters. A lot of you will know that Mickey had a bit of an aggressive personality, and that does put some people off dwarf hamsters because the aggression is much more likely to occur in a dwarf hamster than it is throughout like a Syrian. It's more likely, especially in a hybrid with the bad genetics. But I've only had, I had two quite aggressive. Well, my first hamster was not aggressive at all. She just bit you occasionally, but she just put you in line, and as soon as you did something she didn't like, she'd let you know by a firm nip. And that was good because she taught me tons. She taught me to be careful. She taught me to not mess around and be nice and kind to her, and in return she would give me exactly the same thing. And the same with Mickey, I guess. He was a bit more aggressive. He did have severe aggression issues, and he was diagnosed by the vet. The vet said that he was very aggressive, and that was probably to do with the way he was bred. So that was nothing I could really change, but I loved him as a hamster. I found him so fun to watch, and his personality and his cute face was perfect for me, and I really didn't mind him being aggressive. So I have found that dwarfs need quite a bit of space, and that's no problem for me. I've enjoyed giving them the space and enjoyed watching them love the space, so that has been okay for me. Some people this is more of an issue, but Syrians need just as much, so if you're not one with loads of space, then the hamster probably isn't best. But I found that they have loved their space, and it's been a pleasure to watch them run around and enjoy the space that I've been able to provide them with. So if you're thinking about getting a dwarf hamster, you're not sure whether it would be good for your age, whatever age you are, they are fine, but I wouldn't recommend giving them to very young children. A lot of people say that they're not suitable. A Syrian would be best, especially if it's your first hamster. A big chunky Syrian who is a bit more trustworthy would probably be better, but if you're a little more experienced, then I would recommend you try out the dwarfs. A lot of people stick to safe Syrians because they're a bit scared that they might get a dwarf that they're not too keen on, but there's nothing you can do about that if you do get one that you're not too keen on. But I have not had any regretting issues with getting any of my dwarfs. A lot of people are like, oh, what do you do with Mickey? How did you find Mickey when you couldn't hold him? I didn't mind, I just watched him. I had Misty, who was the most loveliest ever, so if I ever wanted a cuddle or a stroke, I'd go to her, and then I had him for all the fun watching and playing with. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here because I don't know where I'm going with this. It wasn't very structured or organised, but I thought I'd just sit down, have a chat and tell you what I've thought. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more. We'll see you next time. Bye!